Hello, welcome to online training sessions from University of St. Jamshedpur. I'm Dr. Zishan Bhatti. Today, basically, we're going to learn about few things and settings that we do once we join a Zoom meeting. Once you join a Zoom meeting, there are various things that you can do as a participant within your system or within your meeting. Once you connect, again, the first and foremost important thing is to ensure that your mic or the audio system is working. Once you come here, as you speak, you would find that your bar is basically moving. This red green bar basically indicates that mic is working, the signals are being transferred, everything should be okay. The same thing can be seen if you turn the participants on. If you see this participants off, your name or besides your name, you should see a gray mic icon and it should have a wave as you speak. As you speak, that wave indicates basically that your mic is working fine. In a case, if you see that the mic icon is there, but that green or that gray wave is not coming, means there is some problem. And that is what you need to understand how we can correct that problem. To correct that problem, again, first and foremost is that you have to make sure your keyboard has a mic icon. That mic icon is turned on as well. By default, lots of laptops that are now connected have a mic and speakers icons on their desk laptops. It's usually on F1, F2 or usually on F3 or F4, F5 keys. You can see that by looking at your keyboard. And that mic icons basically allows you to mute or unmute this mic from your keyboard, not from this software, from these buttons here, but from your keyboard. So that is turned on. Similarly, if you are not able to hear the audio, the speakers from your keyboard are also turned on. The next setting we do is be going into mute and see this arrow. You click on this arrow. You have to make sure that you select the correct microphone. So under the microphone category, if there are two or more than two microphones available, make sure you have selected the correct microphone that you are going to use. For example, you have headphones connected. That headphone might have a mic. That mic might not work properly, and that is why you're not getting the sync icon. So switch it to default. So every laptop has a default mic. Switch it to that. That might just solve the problem. Other than that, if you have an external mic connected, but that mic might not be selected. So do ensure that you select the correct mic from here, then try to speak and you should see the gray bar. Then you come to speakers. If you're not able to hear the sound, all you need to do is ensure that you've selected the correct speakers. For example, you might have connected the headphones and you're expecting the sound to come from headphones. However, the sound has been set to speakers. But because you are connected to the speakers, there's a miscalculation between a software and the speakers, so the sound is not being correctly coordinated. So you need to ensure that you select the headphones from within this category as well. So once you select the headphones, it should give you sound from that point as well. So let me connect that. So for example, I have my headphones, and as soon as I connect a headphone on, now my sound would be coming from my headphone speakers. So if I come back here, click on this icon. Sorry, if I just return the video off, click on this icon again. Now you see this, there's a headphones available. So maybe you want the sound to come from your headphones, and luckily this is the problem that is showing right now. So I've connected my headphones, however I have speakers selected, so the sound is basically not coming properly from the headphones, and then we start to feel that there's a problem. So what you need to do is you need to ensure that you select the headphones. Now you would be able to, or you should be able to hear the speakers clearly from your headphones. Then again, sometimes what happens that you have connected your headphones, the headphones are on, but you have not put the headphones in, and you're expecting the sound to come from your laptop. Okay, so if you are there and I'm not able to hear the sound, and you forgot or that you had plugged in the headphones, so you are not able to hear the sound. So again, you need to come on here under this mute icon, click on this arrow, make sure you have selected the correct speaker system as well. This should solve your most of the common problems. Then if still the problem persists, come into audio settings, click on here, and it should give you certain more detailed advanced settings that you can tweak with. First, speaker systems, you can select whatever speaker you're using. Again, in detail advanced, you can check the level of the speakers that you want to control with there. Microphone, again, if you're talking, mic, this bar indicates the mic is working fine, no problem. Or you can select any other microphone system that is available within your system as well. So this again, same thing that you can correct, and then you can check whether your system is working correctly or not. So that's first and foremost thing. Second, video. Sometimes some meetings require you to turn the video off. Like in my case, I've turned my video off. This video basically, because if video is turned on for everybody, it might take up a lot of bandwidth. So sometimes they ask you to turn the video off, and this is how we do that. Then if you click on here, the video would appear and my face would be here as well. Second thing that we do is once we are here, again the participants, this participants tabs allows us to see the participants that are on my meeting. Okay, even as a participant, as a host, I can see all the people who are connected within my system. Whoever is speaking, his mic would be moving, that tell me which mic the system is speaking. Second thing, video is also available here, so it indicates which participants video is on and off. I can get the list from here. At the same time, I can, as a host, I can mute everybody. So if you're a host, you would find this icon here, mute all. This would basically mean that everybody would be mute, and then host can then unmute himself, and that would ensure that only the host or the teacher is speaking, all of the students' mics are off. So when you're talking, there is no cross talk. It's a very, very important thing. If you have 70-80 students connected with you through your Zoom meeting, that's the one common problem you will have, that people would be talking. Second problem is that the people might not be talking, but his friend, his mother, somebody else at the background would be talking, and that would create a lots of crosstalk. To avoid that, we always ensure that, or we ask the students that kindly turn off their mics, but sometimes they don't. You can mute everybody here, and it will ask you that current and new participants all will be muted. He said yes, mute everybody, and all the participants will be muted. But because you are a host and I'm talking with them, so my mic is on, and that's no big problem with that. Okay, so once you do that, after that unmute all as well. So once you open a session, quick session for questions and answers, you can unmute all with one click, and then everybody becomes basically that. So as a host, you can control that as well, that you can control the mic mute and unmute option as well. Then as a host, on a participants, you can mute individually people from this way as well. So as soon as the cursor hovers over a particular name, I can mute it from here as well. Then there's something called more. So if you click on more, I can ask them to start the video, because I've turned the video off. So I can ask them that turn the video on. I can make them host as well. So now they become the host. So in case if I have to leave, the second teacher who is joining with me can continue the session as well. I can rename them. If I have, for example, in this case, I have Samsung available, I can come here and rename that student so that I know that this is again myself, and I can identify them better, and other people in the group would again see the same thing, that now they would know who this is, because sometimes people or teachers, they forgot to change their names as well. So put them in waiting rooms. For example, if we are having an online interview sessions, people have logged in, we have confirmed them, then now we have requested them that to go, kindly we are going to switch you to waiting room, wait for your turn, so that we can take the questions and answers one by one from each individual students. So you can, after they have joined the meeting, they can again be thrown back into a waiting room session. You can remove them. So if the participant has joined, you can remove them as well. So sorry, thank you very much. Now the meeting is session, your part has ended, that interview has ended, now you can leave. So you can make them remove. At the same time, report as well. So for example, if you are student has confirmed here, student has joined the meeting, but they are misbehaving or anything, so you can block them from Zoom. Or the common problem of Zoom bombing has occurred, that people have unwantedly joined Zoom meetings, because we tend to share the IDs publicly at certain places. So if that happens, you can report that user using this link as well. So this is very commonly used settings that are available for participants. Okay, at the same time, there are a few other things that we can do. Reactions as well. This means you want to clap, you have heard something, and this would be sent as a chat message. You want a thumbs up, you can do that as well. So this would be sent as a thumbs up message. If you double click on this window, the window becomes maximized, so you can see the whole video as well. If I turn the video, and then one other thing to note is whoever is speaking, the yellow bar appears on it. So since this I've turned the mic off, you can see that there's no yellow bar here. So this yellow border indicates that the user is speaking. At the same time, there's something called speaker view as well. So if I turn the speaker view on, this would basically mean that now whoever is the speaker will automatically be highlighted, all other participants will be minimized. So this is called a speaker view. In my case, because I'm the host, I've turned it on, so it has minimized me, and then it has let other participants be in a way. So gallery view basically will allow you to see every other user view, and then once you have a gallery view, you can also do a few other things as well. So you can for example ask them to be, if I click on here, put them in waiting room, same options are available from this view as well. Similarly, if I have speaker view on, at this speaker view again, if I exit the full screen, at this speaker view again, I can right click and ask them to start the video, rename, change them, and do save the settings as well. So remember these few things that we can do. Chat, again we have talked about this previously as well. You can chat with your participants, everybody, or just a small persons as you go along, and that should allow you to communicate in a textual manner if you want. Finally, the most important thing for faculty, if you are a teacher, if you want to work with Zoom for class lectures, this is something called share your screen. So if you click share your screen, this would share your screen, but at the same time there's an arrow here. If you click here, this also is available. This option just has an advanced sharing options. We will talk about that in later on, but for now, if you click on share screen, now here is a little confusing, something that happens, and that's a problem, that it asks you to share a particular window only or an entire screen. So for example, if you are working with just a particular window, you can share that, or you can just share an entire screen. At the same place, you have something called whiteboard as well. So if you click on whiteboard, click on share, so now a whiteboard would appear where you can write your notes as well. So you can share, if you have a writing pad, you can use that to give some information. And if you're a math teacher, for example, you can use this whiteboard as a tool to write, but of course you have to use your mouse, or you have to use a digital pen board if you have that available as well. So that's one option available. We can do that. At the same time, we can end the session as well by clicking on the stop share, and the stop sharing would appear. If you have to start and share your presentation, again just screen share, and then instead of sharing just one single window, you can just go and click on the entire screen. What this would now basically mean that now entire screen, whatever activities you do, will be shared. And then once you do that, you can go into your PowerPoint, start discussing your PowerPoint, show them windows, or you can go into any other software, coding software, do coding or browsers, and discuss different things as you go along. So this is again a very simple and easy to use feature within this window that allows you to control and monitor lots of different activities once you join, or as a host when you're controlling the settings. Okay. This is Dr. Zishan Bhatti. If you have any problems, suggestions, anything you would like to know how you want to do on the Zoom, kindly leave us comments and feedback so we can get back to you and we'll try to help you out. Thank you very much for watching. See you around. Fi Aman Allah.